Who is the lucky lady?
Oh, there she go. Here's the deal. She's straight, but lately I've been getting some serious vibes from her.
Ooh, vibes that she wants to become a lesbian?
Vibes that she's curious about an adventure with Denise.
All right, I'm in. I'm your wingman.
Oh, here she comes. Pretty cool.
Denise.
Hey, Kyla.
Who is this?
I don't know this dude. Come on, let's get a drink.
Hey there, it's Mark Ellis with an exciting new episode of RT Essentials. This one goes out to all you TV aficionados who revel in the thrills of a binge-worthy series. The distinct visual styles, the ensemble casts, the season-long plots, the grand reveals rewarded to those who hit the play next button enough times to make it to the finale. You probably skipped an intro or two, we'll forgive it, and of course, that one crucial ingredient that all great television shows have in common, a unique point of view. And thanks to a bigger push for diversity in storytelling, this past decade has given rise to countless new series that feature previously underrepresented viewpoints and demographics. Notably, Asian American-driven productions are finally getting the spotlight they deserve, and we've wrangled up our favorites in that category. These are our selections for the best Asian American TV. Warrior.
You think you can take me on?
That's the wrong question.
Oh yeah? What's the right one?
Do you really want to find out?
Roundhouse kicking things off with Warrior, an action drama based on an original concept and treatment by legendary martial artist Bruce Lee. The series premiered on Cinemax in April of 2019 and stars Andrew Koji, Jason Tobin, Olivia Chang, Diane Doan, Kieran Bu, and many others. Set in San Francisco's Chinatown in the 1870s, Warrior follows Ah Sam, a martial arts prodigy who emigrates from China in search of his sister and soon gets wrapped up with one of the most dangerous gangs in America. The show explores the Tong Wars, which were a series of violent feuds that began in the 19th century and spanned a 70-year period. Tongs were originally benevolent, tasked with protecting Chinese immigrants who were victims of discrimination and violent acts, but gradually, criminal Tongs became more prevalent, specializing in gambling and opium and warring with rivals over territorial and operational issues. Bruce Lee, inspired by tales from the Tong Wars, wrote an 8-page treatment in the 1970s entitled The Warrior about a Chinese martial artist traversing the American West. Lee envisioned himself in the leading role. However, he had trouble pitching the idea to Warner Brothers on account that they had already begun developing a similar concept called Kung Fu, starring David Carradine.
What's your name?
Assam.
You and me. We have some unfinished business this time.
Well, when you're ready, come and find me. I'll be the in the fancy suit.
But sources have since confirmed that studios weren't willing to cast Lee in the lead role he created because of his accent and ethnicity, feeling that would have been too risky at the time. Unfortunately, Lee passed away before his idea came to fruition, and his treatment remained mostly unseen until his daughter Shannon Lee took over his foundation in the year 2000. Shannon uncovered the treatment and shared her father's ideas with the Fast and Furious director Justin Lin, and the show was born. With the cancellation of Cinemax, Warrior moved to HBO Max, where it's been renewed for a third season. It has been called one of the best new television shows by Rolling Stone magazine, and as of April 2021, it ranks among the top 15 most viewed series on HBO Max. Quantico.
I don't think we can evacuate.
5,000 people between here and the Marine base in 4 minutes. If we're lucky, we get them from the instant death zone to the die a slow death zone.
No one is gonna die. Is there any way you can fix that?
Not without triggering the failsafe.
No, way to go, Dr. Strangelove. You built a bomb that can't be stopped.
Okay, just let him think.
Okay, I can't stop the plutonium trigger, but I can remove the uranium core.
Fewer casualties.
Maybe none, but either way, we gotta get this nuke as far away as possible in case I fail.
Quantico is a mystery thriller that aired on ABC and ran for 3 seasons, 57 episodes. Series creator Joshua Safran, who had previously worked on Gossip Girl and Smash, wanted to make a straightforward action show, something far different from the typical soapy drama. Safran has described Quantico as a sexy romance and political thriller akin to the movie Die Hard, but occurring weekly. Co-producer Mark Gordon has also described the show as Grey's Anatomy meets Homeland. All right, you had me at Die Hard, let's say that's good enough. Quantico follows protagonist Alex Parrish, played by Priyanka Chopra, an FBI agent who becomes the prime suspect after a terrorist attacked on Grand Central Terminal. She's arrested for treason, but soon flees from captivity and becomes a fugitive, all the while trying to you guessed it, prove her innocence. In addition to Chopra, the show starred Josh Hopkins, Jake McLaughlin, Anjanou Ellis, and Yasmin Al-Masri. Safran had originally intended the series to be more of an ensemble, but after being so impressed with Chopra's audition, he chose to reimagine the show's storyline, making her the dominant role and shaping the character's personality to align more with the actors. Chopra saw Quantico as an opportunity to challenge Indian stereotypes in Hollywood, and this role made her the first South Asian to headline an American network drama series.
What do you want, Mr. Keys?
Well, I'd like to make you an offer. We hear you're looking for a job.
I'm considering my options.
Well, allow me to add us to the mix.
Can I think about it?
This offer expires the second you step out of the car.
Why me?
Critics praise the show's mysteries, its high-energy action sequences, and magnetic cast. But Chopra really steals the show. Literally. The New York Times called her immediately charismatic and commanding, and the Los Angeles Daily News wrote that they were immediately struck by her dynamic screen presence and that she's someone worth keeping an eye on. Chopra also became the first South Asian ever to win a People's Choice Award, winning in 2016 for Favorite Actress in a New TV Series, and again in 2017 for Favorite Dramatic TV Actress. Pen 15.
Come on, babe. Yeah. You midget piece of shit. Yeah. You gonna take that? You gonna take that? Take that? You gonna take that? What? You're a midget piece of shit. Yeah. And you got an aardvark. And that's why your dad died. Oh, yes. Go. Oh.
What if you could hop in a time machine and journey back to the simpler times of being a middle schooler, where your biggest concern was someone tricking you into letting them write a profanity on your hand? That's exactly what series creators Maya Erskine and Anna Konkle pulled off with Pen 15, a comedy that premiered on Hulu in February of 2019. In addition to creating and writing, Maya and Anna also starred in the leading roles, playing 13-year-old versions of themselves in the year 2000. But even though they're in their 30s in real life, the surrounding cast is comprised of actual 13-year-olds. It's laugh-out-loud funny and often cringeworthy, but also heartfelt and incredibly accurate. Like, almost too accurate. You're left wondering how anyone could possibly remember all these adolescent details so vividly. Maya and Anna took influence from films like Welcome to the Dollhouse and opted for a raunchier, off-kilter approach to their portrayal of tweendom. The two met as NYU undergrads in 2008, studying abroad in Amsterdam and taking part in an experimental theater workshop.
When does it?
Maya? Is this normal? Maya.
Whoa. Oh my God. How long were we out for? 10 seconds. We lost our minds, you guys.
Maya recalled that one of their first encounters took place in a bathroom before a Brechtian fairy tale storytelling showcase. They were both freaking out, and Maya recalls that they bonded over having IBS issues, which is all too fitting if you watch the show. Pen 15 was nominated for several Emmy Awards and took home the Gotham Award for Breakthrough Series Short Form in 2019. Additionally, the show received universal acclaim, with The New Yorker writing that the creators' commitment to their bit pays off not merely with the Y2K-era realism, but emotionally, giving every humiliating moment a double edge. You know what? Hand me that Sharpie. I think I will join the Pen 15 Club after all. Nikita.
Someone who was brought here against her will, on a boat, with many other girls just like her.
Not like me. I escaped.
Your captors, yes, but not the junk they hooked you on. You're a survivor, Alex. You made it through hell, you'll make it through this. All I'm here to show you is you don't have to be hard to survive. Sometimes vulnerability can be our greatest weapon.
Nikita is an action drama series that premiered on the CW network in September 2010 and ran for a total of 4 seasons. It was an adaptation of Luc Besson's French film La Femme Nikita, which was released in 1990. The series focuses on Nikita Mears, played by Maggie Q, a woman who has spent the last 3 years in hiding after escaping a top-secret U.S. government-funded organization known as Division. Nikita, tired of running, now seeks retribution and revenge and is hell-bent on bringing down the dangerous organization she was once a victim of. In addition to Q, the cast included Lindsay Fonseca, Shane West, Aaron Stanford, Melinda Clark, Xander Berkeley, Tiffany Hines, and Devon Sawa, who makes an appearance as a magazine cutout in Pen 15. Again, it's so accurate. For years, the CW had been interested in creating an action-adventure centered on a strong female character, and in January of 2010, they ordered the pilot episode of Nikita. Executive producer Craig Silverstein was tasked with bringing a new angle to a story and characters that had been previously used, first in the film and again in the late 90s with La Femme Nikita, the series. With that in mind, two major changes were made for this iteration. One being that the story takes place after Nikita has escaped instead of before, and the other being the introduction of an important new character named Alex, played by Fonseca, whose backstory ties into the central plot. When it came to casting the lead role, producers wanted someone who could fight, and someone beautiful and believable when holding a gun. So Q was the obvious choice.
We will get you.
And critics certainly agreed, praising Q's charisma and her impressive action film training that got used in full effect. Nikita was also nominated for multiple Emmys and People's Choice Awards. Master of None.
Grant is like a little dude now.
Yeah, he is, but he could still be a real sometimes. If you saw him all the time, he would like take a in your shoe or something.
What?
It's his new thing. He calls it poop shoes.
I wasn't on board initially, but poop shoes, that's just good branding.
Next up, we got Aziz Ansari and Alan Yang's Master of None, a dramedy that was released for streaming on Netflix in November of 2015. Seasons 1 and 2 featured Ansari in the lead role of Dev Shah, a New York-based actor who struggles to identify what he really wants, both personally and professionally. Ansari loosely based the show on his own real-life experiences as a first-generation Indian American, and even cast his real mom and dad, Fatima and Shukat, as his parents in the show. Though seasons 1 and 2 are centered around Dev's journey, season 3 changes things up and instead focuses on Dev's friend Denise's life. Denise, played by Lena Waithe, is a 37-year-old lesbian novelist juggling a troubled marriage with professional and personal issues. This third season, retitled Moments in Love, was entirely written by Ansari and Waithe, with Dev only appearing in a couple of scenes, leaving the spotlight to shine on Denise. In 2017, Waithe became the first black woman to win the Emmy for Outstanding Writing for a Comedy Series for her work on the Thanksgiving episode of Master of None. That specific episode was loosely based on her personal experience of coming out to her mother. It's these heartwarming and relatable moments, blended with expertly penned comedic relief, that have made Master of None a standout, receiving universal acclaim and adoration.
You get something to eat?
Yeah, sure. What about that place across the street?
Yeah, should look it up on Yelp, see if it's any good.
A large man is walking in there right now, and he seems super excited.
Guess that kind of is like old school Yelp, right? Following around really excited fat people.
NPR poignantly wrote that Ansari nails modern love, modern families, and cultural assimilation in a potent comedy that often camouflages its depth with Ansari's quick wit and snappy patter. And aside from winning 3 Emmys and a Golden Globe, Master of None Seasons 1 and 2 are fresh as can be, with 100% tomato meter scores, and I have a new goal in life, having snappy patter. Awkwafina is Nora from Queens.
Honey, that's just chump change. The real action's at the table.
You know, I don't know how to play those games. I figured I'd start small, graduate to the big tables, you know?
You come to Atlantic City to be a Get out there. Conquer. Hit the tables. Say, can I borrow $1,000?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have that kind of money on me, but
well, how about 300?
300? All I got is $5 on a Best Buy gift card.
Well, you gotta share the wealth. Let me have something.
Multi-talented actress Awkwafina created the series Awkwafina is Nora from Queens, which premiered on Comedy Central in January of 2020. It follows Nora Lum, a fictionalized version of Awkwafina, played by Awkwafina, in case the title, featuring Awkwafina's name, didn't already give that away. Nora lives in Queens, which, again, the title told you. But what the title doesn't mention is that she's struggling with young adulthood and must lean on her father and grandmother for help. Co-creator and executive producer Teresa Shao sharpened her comedic skills writing for the animated sitcoms Family Guy and American Dad. In 2016, her and Awkwafina began developing Nora from Queens, and in 2018, Comedy Central ordered the pilot with Awkwafina and Shao writing. A few months later, production of a 10-episode first season was ordered, and it was off to the races.
From Olivia Jade. Who the f*** that? But nothing from Brenda. I don't understand why she didn't like my photo.
Let me see it.
Beautiful composition and lighting.
Thank you.
Oh. Uh-oh.
What? Holy shit, my is out!
Yeah.
Jimmy, my is out! What did happen?
NPR wrote that when Lum works with the other main members of the cast, the show is really funny and very appealing. Those other main cast members include Lori Tan Chin, B.D. Wong, Chrissy Fitt, Jonathan Park, Bowen Yang, and Jennifer Esposito. The show is also known for its impressive guest stars, ranging from Haley Joel Osment to Margaret Cho. Nora from Queens has been renewed for a third season set to premiere in October of 2022. The Mindy Project.
You are like crazy, bangable hot. I don't understand why you're a doctor. You could be a model. Anybody can be a doctor.
I actually did think about modeling until I was scouted and I became a model.
That's interesting. Actually, the same thing kind of happened to me.
Nah, it didn't. If I could model, I wouldn't be in this dump with these losers. I'd be on a yacht with Robin Thicke and he sprayed with champagne.
The Mindy Project was a rom-com series created by and starring Mindy Kaling. It originally aired on Fox in September of 2012 and ran for 6 seasons, with the final 3 seasons airing on Hulu. The series centers around Mindy Lahiri, played by Kaling, a successful, skilled doctor who aspires to be a more well-rounded woman. Someone punctual, frugal, and well-read, not someone who obsesses over romance and can't seem to get her own love life on track. Set in New York City, Mindy explores life with her best friend and co-worker Danny, who also doubles as her love interest. Kaling is joined by a quirky supporting cast that includes Chris Messina, Ed Weeks, Zoe Jarman, Anna Camp, Amanda Setton, and Stephen Tobolowsky. NBC initially commissioned the pilot with the working title It's Messy, but soon forfeited the project and sent it to executives at Fox, who greenlit the pilot with Kaling attached to star. Upon completion of the pilot, Fox ordered the series, changing the name to The Mindy Project. After 3 seasons, Fox then canceled the series, which Kaling believes herself was a blessing in disguise. According to an article in IndieWire, being canceled by Fox and picked up by Hulu made The Mindy Project more Emmy-worthy than ever. Kaling stated that the move to Hulu was pivotal because she had grown as a writer, and Hulu presented an opportunity to write characters who are doing things that can't be done on a network sitcom.
Oh God, Jeremy, I'm so sorry. Jeremy, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
I'm so sorry. I forgot I was wearing this. I spend so many nights here now, and I'm scared of getting murdered. So I figure if I'm wearing this, murderers will think I'm a murderer, and they'll just go, too many cooks in the kitchen.
You know, you're here constantly.
Well, my plan was to marry rich and then stop working, or to marry old, and then when the guy died, inherit all his money. But old guys think I have sass mouth.
And it's clear in the final seasons that Hulu leaned more heavily on the drama, raising the stakes and tensions surrounding Mindy and Danny's romance. Critics were overall positive in their reviews of The Mindy Project, with New York Magazine writing that Kaling draws on that typical rom-com trope, but she tweaks it by making Mindy's professionalism an undeniably good quality. Kaling's career has continued to flourish after The Mindy Project, having created the Hulu miniseries 4 Weddings and a Funeral, the Netflix dramedy series Never Have I Ever, and The Sex Lives of College Girls on HBO Max. Fresh off the boat.
It's all those years, you said you fell in love with me at first sight.
I did. I wasn't lying. It just happened to coincide with Olivia Yang falling out of love with me.
Why didn't you tell me?
I was worried it would scare you off.
Why, because she dumped you? And I'm a dumped man's rebound bride?
Jessica, if you were just a rebound, why would I have proposed to you so many times?
I don't know. Maybe that's a question for Olivia Yang.
Okay, how's about we get back to that extraordinary ability visa?
Writer-producer Nahnatchka Khan rose to prominence after creating the ABC sitcom Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. Soon after, she struck again with Fresh Off the Boat, a comedy inspired by the life of Chef Eddie Huang and his 2013 autobiography. Huang also serves as an executive producer on this show, which premiered on ABC and ran for 6 seasons, 116 episodes. Fresh Off the Boat finds Eddie as a hip-hop loving 11-year-old who relocates to suburban Orlando with his parents and 2 brothers. His dad, Louis, finds his version of the American dream by opening a Western-themed restaurant named Cattleman's Ranch Steakhouse, and Eddie and the rest of the family try to acclimate to their new, often strange surroundings. The series follows Eddie's journey from childhood years to his senior year of high school, and though he is initially the main protagonist of the series, there's a creative shift in Season 2, focusing more on the entire family and losing Huang's narration, which does weave throughout Season 1.
Sunday, and not too rough on the old pocketbook. Oh, by the way, my friend Zach wants to hang out next Sunday.
Great! Next Sunday's our toilet paper run. We could use the extra set of hands to help carry the 144 pack.
Ooh, birthday cake. Whose birthday is it?
Look at the price, Carmine. At 5 cents a cubic inch, it's all our birthdays.
The show starred Hudson Yang, Randall Park, Constance Wu, Forrest Wheeler, Ian Chen, and Lucille Soon, and became the first network television sitcom in the United States to feature a family of Asian Americans as main characters in over 20 years. Margaret Cho's All-American Girl, which aired for one season in 1994, was the last. Fresh Off the Boat received positive reviews and several nominations for major awards. It also became the first series featuring an all-Asian American main cast to broadcast over 100 episodes. Never Have I Ever.
Do you mind going to the store and buying me a thong?
What?
My mom won't buy them for me. Just like a simple red lace thong with a rhinestone phrase on the front that says "Do me."
I will not be buying you a tech thong.
Fine. I'll just cut the cheeks out of my normal underwear. Whatever.
Back to Mindy Kaling being unstoppable. She's the co-creator of the coming-of-age dramedy Never Have I Ever, which was released on Netflix in April of 2020. The show is set in Sherman Oaks, Los Angeles, and centers around the complicated life of a first-generation Indian-American teenager named Debbie, who has recently lost her father. Debbie struggles with grief and her complicated relationship with her mother, all the while managing the pains of a socially horrible freshman year. Kaling based Never Have I Ever on her own experiences, being a child of immigrants and feeling like an outsider. But instead of staying true to her own life and having the show be set in, say, the 80s or 90s, she opted to keep things modern and relatable for kids now. When it came to casting, Kaling posted an open call on social media in search of 3 Desi ladies to play Debbie, Debbie's mother, and Debbie's cousin. Roughly 15,000 people applied, including newcomer and rising star Maitreyi Ramakrishnan, who Kaling cast as Debbie.
I went for a run.
At night? You cannot run in Los Angeles at night. This is the city of Charles Manson and Harvey Weinstein.
I think it's okay. The worst criminal in our neighborhood is the lady who watered her lawn during the drought.
I reported her, and she's been punished accordingly.
Kaling admired Maitreyi's confidence and natural sense of humor, and according to interviews, liked that she looked more like someone that would be in her family. In addition to Maitreyi, the show stars Poorna Jagannathan, Richa Morjani, Darren Barnett, Jaron Lewison, and John McEnroe? You cannot be serious. Yes, you heard that right. John McEnroe narrates the show for Debbie, which is a hilariously effective choice. Additionally, Andy Samberg and Gigi Hadid also narrate an episode each. Never Have I Ever has been praised for breaking South Asian stereotypes, and critics have called it a delightfully warm and funny series. A 3rd season is scheduled for release this summer, and a 4th season is already in development. The Terror Infamy.
今日の診察は終わったんだ。明日の朝出直してきてくれ。Coming back tomorrow. What's wrong with you?
And last, but certainly not least, is the horror drama anthology series The Terror, set in an American-run Japanese internment camp during World War II. It stars Derek Miu, Kiki Sukezanet, Christina Rodlow, Shingo Usami, Naoko Mori, Miki Ishikawa, and George Takei. Though the first season was named after and based on Dan Simmons' 2007 novel, which is a fictionalized account of a Captain Sir John Franklin and his lost expedition to the Arctic, Season 2 bears no relation to the book or Season 1 and is subtitled Infamy. Infamy was co-created by Max Borstein and Alexander Wu and consists of 10 episodes. In the first episode, residents of Terminal Island are haunted by a series of mysterious deaths. Then the news breaks that Japan has attacked Pearl Harbor and men of Japanese ancestry are arrested across the United States. Protagonist Chester Nakayama, played by Mio, is forced to settle into an internment camp along with his pregnant Mexican girlfriend Luz, played by Rodlow.
More of the pictures that I took turned out like this. What am I doing wrong?
If you asked my old professor, he'd say it's a combination of a slow shutter and a shaky hand. And if you asked my Jewish mother, she'd say you've been taking photos of things you shouldn't be.
Though the show is based on real-world events and accounts, there are mythical elements interspersed throughout the season. For example, many residents of the camp believe that a bakamano is responsible for the events that have occurred. Bakamano literally means a thing that changes, like a shape-shifting spirit, which can disguise itself as a human or something far more terrifying. The Terror Infamy originally aired on AMC and received mostly positive reviews, with Nancy Matsumoto of The Atlantic writing that as a historical drama, it got a lot right, and as a Japanese American, she was gratified to see this painful era captured in a production anchored by Asian Americans. Though there are discussions of a possible 3rd season featuring entirely new storylines, nothing is currently set in stone. And that about does it for the best Asian American TV. As always, we couldn't include every title that fits the bill, which is great news. There's far too many outstanding Asian American TV series popping up left and right, but don't worry. We also have plenty more episodes of RT Essentials coming your way, so hopefully we'll get there soon. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Mark Ellis, or perhaps I'm really a Bakemono disguised as Mark Ellis. Only my dog Molly knows for sure. I'll see you at home.